Hey guys. I know I haven't done a video in a while, so I just wanted to tap in and do something that's been on my heart. I had to take a little break from YouTube and kind of like social media. I know I did a week of a break and then I filmed a video, so I just want to jump into this one. It's been on my heart. A lot of you guys have reached out to me, heartbroken, not understanding why you're in this situation, not understanding why you are now a single parent, not understanding, why did this person leave out of your life, it's very heartening. Like, I literally, this quarantine made me realize that I had some underlying things myself from past relationships that I was holding on to, that I didn't even know that was there, and that's called growth. And one thing that I preach and just tell women and men is that growing is painful. Growing is so painful, and that's why they call it growing pains. When people say, you know what, like, I'm growing, like, that wasn't an easy thing to do. And one thing I want to tell you guys, if you're trying to get over somebody, if you're heartbroken and that person left out of your life, they started a new family, and you're just like watching them from afar, and you're like, that should have been me. Like, why did that work out for me? I don't understand. I'm not understanding why this is happening to me. And the number one thing that I finally am able to grab onto, and I want you to grab onto it too, because this is going to be good for your sanity. Like, this is something that is going to be for your sanity, and that is understanding faith. If you have faith of a mustard seed, this will help you through, because I'm going to tell you, the one thing you need to hold on to is understanding that everything is leading you to what you need and not what you want. You may want to be with this certain person, you may have envisioned this lifestyle with this certain person, and then all those dreams came crashing down. Those things came crashing down because God was saving you from the stuff that would have scorned you and hurt you even more. Like, believe it or not, he actually sees the future. We don't. We only live in the present, and that's all we can do. So stay in the present and not in the past and not in the future of what's going to happen, but stay in the present of now. That is all you can do. And have faith that this did not work out, or this person is not in your life because they're not supposed to be. And if you hang on to that faith, I know it hurts, and you're going to cry, and you're going to feel disappointed, and you're going to feel defeated, and you're going to feel like, why me? Why did I end up in this situation? What did I do to end up in this situation? Oh, I should have made better choices. And all those choices you have made were for a reason. They were all for a reason. Girl setting high standards got me lonely. No, you're not lonely. You are alone, but you are not lonely. Okay? You have to, if you're in the season right now where you're dealing with heartbreak, this is the time to work on your inner self. Work on the dark side of you and work on the good side of you, and understand to put more value on yourself. When a relationship comes to the end, we tend to think about all the good things and the good times and everything great. But we forget about all the stuff that we hid under the rug, you know? And if you keep hiding stuff under the rug and pushing it under the rug and pushing it under the rug becomes a big pile. And then you can't even see each other anymore because this big rug is in front of you guys. And it's an elephant in the room, basically. And it's gonna come crashing down, and you're gonna have to deal with those issues, whether it's him cheating, him lying, her being deceitful or whatever in the way that she is, and she's not being transparent, whatever the problem is, and you guys have communication problems. Understand those problems are not going to change because you have a kid, or because you get married, or because somehow magically you guys grow up. Sometimes people grow up and grow apart. And it happens for a reason, because you find yourself growing, and one person is growing one way and another person is growing another way. And sometimes you feel like you're trying to grow this way, just like a flower. Like if you kind of think about it, or like leaves, they kind of grow like different ways. Imagine if you're trying to grow and then the other person's trying to grow, but then you guys are bound together. You see how you're one person's not really able to grow, or one person grows and one person's stuck, and they kind of like hold them back. Like, believe it or not, no matter what you thought, that person could have bought bad energy and could have blocked your blessings. You have to understand that this person was removed for a reason. God does not like to hurt you. Like, the universe is here to help us expand ourselves and to better ourselves. Like, we're not just here to just love on people and just die. Like, we're not here to just find a partner and die. Like, yes, that's great that we find a partner, but we're here for a reason, to work on ourselves, because at the end of the day, when you died by yourself. You were born by yourself. And if you believe in God, understand God's not going to be like, "Oh, where's your husband?" No, he's going to be talking to you. And he's going to be asking you, why were you so focused on this one person out of the million people and not living in your purpose? That's what you're going to have to answer to. So you have to really think about it and say, yes, this may hurt me. Yes, this may happen. But I have to trust that all of this is happening for a reason. And even when you don't understand it, please just trust that it is all happening for a reason. I had a moment about a few weeks ago where I was just so angry and upset, and I could not figure out why was I having these emotions. And I created this scenario in my head that probably was not quite true. And it was based off of fear. Because sometimes we move off of fear with a scenario, and that may not even be reality. And I had to come to the conclusion of, even if that was the reality, I have to trust that all of that is happening for a reason, and I'm going to be okay. Even though I feel like I want to die, I don't want to wake up the next day. I don't want to face my problems, or I feel better sleeping. And I don't know, I'm trying not to get emotional, because I see you guys' messages, and you know, who get it together. I see you guys' messages, and it's a lot of people that's going through things mentally. And I hear you guys. I've been there, and I know how it feels to not want to wake up. And I promise you guys, it just makes me emotional, because I promise you, I feel your pain. And I'm sorry. I'm not one of the people that likes to cry on camera. But I feel your pain, and I understand that depression is nothing easy to deal with, and it makes you tired. It makes you physically tired. It makes you agitated with the people around you, and it makes you feel like your reality is, you make illusions of what your reality is, and it's just not true. And I'm here to tell you that I am healed. I'm healing, and I feel really good to know that I can hang on to faith. Like, when I feel like I'm about to lose myself, and I feel like my reality is getting the best of me, I hang on to faith. And I think back on the times where I had to take a test and I was failing a class, and I'm like, there's no way I am able to, pass this class. And I said, well, you know what they say, hang on to faith just a little bit. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go into this, and I'm going to study really hard. I'm going to really work on myself, and I'm going to study really hard. And I believe that if whatever happens, And so that's what I did. I went in, I took a test, and I promise you guys, I passed the class. There were so many times where I thought I was going to fail. I was going to have to repeat the grade again. Let me tell you guys, this is a testimony, because I'm trying to give you guys faith to hang on to. I don't know if you guys know the tax test. It's like it's a test you take every year. I literally failed the math tax test every single year, from when they gave it to us all the way up till almost I think it's like 11th grade or whatever, or senior year or whatever. And I failed every year. And I remember I was going through things and these girls were bullying me and all this other stuff. And I was just not concentrated on passing this tax test. And they said, Brittany, if you do not pass this tax test, like, you can't move on to the next grade and you will not be able to graduate. And I'm sitting there having an anxiety attack. My stomach's messed up. Like, I'm literally like sick. And then I say, you know what? What if I just let go and let God and understand that what's meant to be will happen? And I have to trust that whatever he does is for my best interest. When I tell you guys, I took that test and I passed it, and I don't know how I passed it. I didn't even care what the score was. They just said, Brittany, you passed the tax test. And when other people failed it and had to repeat the grade, and I did not have to repeat the grade. And I hang on to those moments where I got in a car accident and I survived and I thought I was going to die, or I thought I was going to fail a class, or I thought I wasn't going to graduate. I end up graduating. I have to understand that God moves when he needs to move, and he will move the wrong people out of your life. And the tears were for me just understanding about depression and, being broken, and, visualizing a relationship and then seeing that crash and burn is probably very, very hurtful. And I understand, like, people right now are suffering, people are losing their jobs, and people are going through relationship problems. And I understand this is not easy to deal with, but this is the most important time to work on yourself. If it seems like everything is being thrown your way, if everything is being thrown your way, understand that this is all, this pain that you're feeling is growing pains, because you cannot stay in the same place that you were in a year ago, not even a few months ago. That is why things are moving the way they're moving. The people that are leaving out of your life, the friendships that you're losing, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, all of that is happening because 2020 is a year of waking up. You can no longer be asleep and ignore the pile of mess in the room, the mess within yourself and the mess in your relationship, and how much is really holding you back. Because there's so many women that say, wow, I did not realize how much this person was holding me back until they were out of it. I see you guys' comments, and thank you so much. I'm gonna go through the comments at the end. So just comment and let me know what other subjects you want me to talk about. But I just definitely want to give this word of encouragement and hold on to it, and stop asking yourself why. I don't know why that just came into my head, but I don't know who this is, but stop asking yourself, why did this happen? And understand that this needed to happen. It had to happen. It was written to happen. You are on one path and you need to be directed to this path, the right path, your path. And technically, there is no right path, because sometimes you make the wrong turn, but guess what? The destination is always the same. Okay? So for those out there that are really upset, really heartbroken, thinking about, why did this happen? What could I have done? There's nothing you could have done unless, you were the person that cheated. And even then, you have something you need to work on within yourself. Stop questioning yourself. No, your hair, it doesn't matter what your hair looked like. It don't matter what your skin color was. It don't matter what your size was. If that person wasn't treating you right, they weren't going to treat you right no matter how you looked, no matter how you dressed, no matter how much money you have. You have to understand, when you're a celebrity and these people are successful, just because you're successful doesn't mean you're going to find love. Okay? That money and being successful does not equal to you finding or letting that person finally see your worth. Your money is not your worth. Your worth is what you see inside yourself. That's what we need to work on. All of us. None of us is perfect. I sit here and tell you guys this stuff because I am imperfectly perfect. Like, I've been through my fair share. I've been through depression. And yes, it is definitely up and down. It gets triggered, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, well, most of the time it gets triggered, and I deal with those. But it's always beauty when I come out of it, because I always have faith that I will never stay in that place, and that this is temporary. And just hold on to, no matter what is being thrown at you, all of this is happening for a reason. I have lost jobs in the past where I didn't understand, why did I get fired? God, why would you have this happen to me? I mean, guys, when I was pregnant, I lost a job and I lost a relationship. And all I can do is sit here and say, why, why? I thank God that happened, because I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be successful as I am today. And I feel great about who I am as a person and who I am developing into as a person, and that I can sit here and inspire you guys, because the person I was a few years ago could never sit here and tell you guys what I'm saying, because I had no type of knowledge, and I was so stuck on a dead end relationship, where the point where I didn't know myself, and I got out to the dating world, and I still didn't know myself. Or I would put up with certain things from certain people and be like, why would I put up with that? Why would I deal with this? Why am I in this situation? The fact that I am okay with hurting myself by walking away from a situation that no longer serves me, because at least I'm going to have my dignity. At least I'm going to have my self-respect for myself, because I am falling more and more in love with who Brittany is than the love that I want so desperately, because I'm going to fill that void. The little girl inside me, and the little girl inside you wants to be loved and just wants somebody to understand you. How about you understand yourself first, and love yourself and hug yourself, and know that you are not perfect, and it's okay to cry it out, but understand that you are strong and you are here for a reason. And what I also like to think about, like, out of the thousands of millions of sperms that came to the egg, you made it. So you're here for a reason. You're not just here to live life and just serve other people. You serve yourself first. You fill yourself up first before you can pour into other people's cup. You can't expect somebody to love you if you're not loving on yourself. People will treat you how you treat yourself. If you're desperate for love, guess what? That person's gonna be like, she's so desperate. I can just give her anything and she'll take it. And guess what they do? They give you the bare minimum. They barely call you. They barely text you. They barely give you any attention. And when they do give you attention, you're like a puppy dog, like, ooh, give me more and more and more. That's because you're begging for it. Because you're inside, your spirit, and the little girl and the little boy that's inside of you that probably didn't get the love that they needed from their parents is asking to be loved. But the only person that can love that kid inside of you is you. You and only you. So please watch this video. Please share. Please comment. Please let me know what other things you want me to talk about. But I see you guys' messages. If you want to message me, you can message me on Instagram at Brittany Nashay. I try to get back within a few days. I'm a mom and I work at the same time, so I have a lot going on, and I try to get sleep on top of that. But I promise you guys, like, I am here to answer your questions and try to answer them as much as possible. Or if you don't want to message me, just comment below and let me know other things that you want me to talk about. But I just need you to hold on to that faith. I want you to hold on to that faith of a mustard seed and say, I'm hurt. I'm mad that the man that I love is getting married. I'm mad that he looks like he's happy and living his life. I'm mad that they act like they don't care about me and I gave them everything. I need you to hold on to that little mustard seed and say, I have this much faith to know that all of this happened for a reason. And not because it's happening for a reason to hurt you. It's happening because he sees what you can't. And one thing about the world, the one thing about the universe, God, however you want to call him, one thing about that is that it will always protect you. And you have to understand that you are protected. Anytime somebody leaves my life, anytime somebody says something nasty to me, anytime something bad goes on in my life, I have to understand that this is not only going to better me, but it's also protecting me from something. I got in a situation where somebody lied on me, and I can't go into details about it, but they tried to lie on me about something, and I was like, "Oh my God, they are, you know, trying to slash my character." And I said, "This is happening for a reason, because I'm going to handle it like this, because something else in the future may test me, and I know how to handle it from now on. Or I know when to walk away from something that doesn't serve me from now on. Or I know that I lost this job because it's pushing me and forcing me into something that will serve me." Because you would never say, "Well, God, I want something," and then you get it, and then you're not fulfilled, and you're miserable, and you're unhappy. If God can say, "I don't want her to do that. I don't want him to end up a relationship like that. I don't want them to have children that's going to bring in generational curse and curse and curse. So I'm going to have to move them this way. And I know it's going to hurt. I see you crying in bed. I see you depressed. But understand, you're not going to understand. But it's okay, because when you look back on those days that you were crying in your bed, you're going to be thankful for those tears, and because he was saving you from the pain and the devastation that was probably coming your way. So I hold on to that, guys, and I want you to hold on to it. Just this much. You don't got to have a lot. You don't got to have a lot, because I question a lot of things that happen to my life. I question a lot of things, but I go, "Oh, just that little bit, just that little bit." I hang on to that, and I go, "Oh, okay, I'm protected. This is protecting me from something." Yeah, they may look happy. Yeah, I felt like I built that man up for another woman. Yeah, da 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 da. Or why is he treating her better than he ever treated me? I'm not gonna make that illusion in my head anymore. I'm gonna hang on to this right here, and this is faith. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. You just need a little bit to get you through and to help you. And you need to work on yourself and not focus on, "Well, he's this and he said that and he said this and he said that. Well, he lied." And of course, who cares? He lied. You understand the truth. You understand who he is. You don't let him do it again. Do not let him or her do it again. Because you love yourself, even if you don't feel it yet. Even if you don't feel like you got the self-respect. Even if you feel like you got egg on your face and you feel dumb for forgiving somebody over and over and over again until they look like they just crapped on you. I'm going to say a nice word for that. Crap on you. And then you're like, "Wow, that's okay. I may have egg on my face now, but I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to grow from this, and I'm going to prosper from this. Who cares if he hits me up? Who cares if he's watching me or not? I don't care. I'm hanging on to this much faith and this much trust that this all happened for a reason." I'm going to keep repeating that, because I have to keep repeating it to myself. Anytime I sit back and be like, "Oh my God, like my life could have been like this." No, I don't know how my life would have been. My life is exactly where it's supposed to be. And I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And you are exactly where you're supposed to be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to look at these comments right quick. Yes, protection and covering. Thank you, the learning Ella. Well, yes, God will shift you, Terry. G-Stir, I'm so glad I'm speaking to you. Hi, I'm a new sub. I was just about to rewatch your apartment videos because you said to trust what you say about trust to get what you need from God for us, and listening to those encourages me. Girl, yes, I love my place, and I walk into here with gratitude every day and say, "I can't believe that I used to live at home with my grandparents, fussing and fighting with them, and having my son in this little room and space, and now here I am in a 2-bedroom apartment." Like, that's like a nice, very nice 2-bedroom apartment with hardwood floors. And I thought to myself, wow, like I can't afford that. And then boom, God, I was looking at something. I wanted an apartment that was much lower than this, as in not in price, but as in luxury. It was just very basic. It was very old. It probably was gonna have some problems, but I was like, but this is what I can afford. And God was like, actually, I got something better for you. So when the apartment pricing went up, I was like, oh no, I wanted those apartments so bad. He directed me to a totally different place that was so beautiful. And it was my first apartment with a 1 bedroom. And I was like, you know what? Either I could sit here and walk in shame that I'm living in a 1 bedroom apartment with my kid, or I'm going to be grateful that I have a apartment and I have a roof over my head. And I was grateful. And guess what? I was grateful every day I walked in, and I was happy. And I said, yes, I live in a 1 bedroom apartment with my son. And I said it with confidence. And guess what? God blessed me with a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment. Much bigger, beautiful. And it's only up from here. I believe that God's going to bless me with the house next. And that's going to be my testimony too. I already know it. I'm speaking it into existence. And I know that the people that are in my life, or that's going to be in my life in the future, are supposed to be there. So let me look at the rest of these comments. Oh, I'm so glad. Miss Chicago BBW, hello. Y'all, I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get so emotional. It gets real for me when I talk about depression, and it makes me emotional. What advice do you have for women that are sold a dream and then ghosted? Should they confront the man or leave it alone? This is Philly Girl 1. So basically, he sold you a dream. I was actually going to do a video about this. You have to be careful when you start talking to a guy and they start kind of giving you a vision of, they know what you want to hear. So when you start talking to a guy and he's telling you like, oh, you're gonna be my wife, oh, we're gonna have a house, oh, I can't wait to see you in a wedding dress, like, oh man, like I can't, they're like gaslighting you so much, like, man, you're so special, more than any other girl I met before, like, man, it's just something about you, it's just something so different about you, like I can't put my, like you're just so special to me, like baby, he is gassing you up, and that feeds your ego. He's feeding your ego. And guess what? Everybody loves their ego to be fed. So when they leave and they ghost you, it hurts more. And you think about them more because it's the ego that's sitting there asking yourself, what did you do wrong? And what happened? And you need answers as into why they left. I didn't say not all men. I said I'm answering the question of, what advice do you give women who are sold a dream? So if you're not selling dreams, if it don't apply, let it fly. But if you do, I've met men like that where they're like, oh my God, like, you don't understand, I'm going to do all this stuff for you. And they're catering to you and they're buying you things and they're just making you feel like a queen. Take that in heaves, okay? Do not get buttered up and sucked into that too quickly, especially if they're moving very fast. Because usually in relationships that move very fast, crash hard. So take your time. Say, I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to need some action behind it. And I'm going to need it consistently happening. Now, if this person ghosted you, like I said before, they were selling you a dream to feed their ego, to have you fall for them. And then when you fall for them and they leave, they feel like they won. But guess what? Y'all sitting here watching this video, so they didn't win. Because it's leveling up season, baby. Man or woman. It's time to level up and stop dealing with people BS at this point. Do not be gaslighted and do not be gassed up. What about people who expect you to give out before being in a relationship? What about people who expect you to give out before being in a relationship? Girl, that's where your standards come in. You need to write down some standards for yourself before you enter this dating world, because this dating world is a jungle, okay? It is war out here. You need to come prepared and you need to be ready and be sure of who you are. At least have some type of grip of who you are, because you will lose yourself in these relationships. And then you come out of these relationships not knowing who you are except your name. Literally, the only thing you know about yourself is your name at this point in age. Because somebody will destroy you if you walk into this dating world not knowing yourself, not knowing your standards, not knowing your deal breakers, not knowing what you're going to put up with. If you saving yourself for a relationship, don't tell them that. See how they act around you when you don't want to be intimate with them or you don't want to put out with them. If they're acting up, boom, there's your attentions right there. If you're not trying to get to know this and stimulate this and telling me we're just going with the flow, don't do that. Don't fall for the I'm going with the flow. Because that flow can be a waterfall, and at the end of that waterfall is a bunch of rocks. Yes. um this guy asked me, what if we do know we're right for each other, but he still want to mess around because he missed out on a bunch of ones. Oh, I think it's New Trend. Hopefully that's your name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. No, he's not ready and he's playing games. And you're gonna have to let him know either you take me serious or I'm leaving. You choose that life or miss out. Because one thing a lot of men, and it's not every man, but a lot of men, they always look back and regret the woman that they lost. And that's why it's been 10 years since I didn't talk to somebody and they're reaching out. They're like, man, like you are such a real one. Like, dude, sorry, that was like 10 years ago. Who are you? You don't know me anymore. You just remember the person that I was, which was foolish because I was dealing with you. But now I'm on a different level. I'm sorry, you can't touch me. I literally had a guy reach out and say, stop acting bougie. I'm not acting bougie. I leveled up. Period. um, he always reached out first. I always responded to his calls and texts only. The last message I sent, he left it on read. Been a week since he called. Thought maybe he was waiting on me. If he went a week without texting you, then that kind of, depending on like how long y'all been texting, um, and y'all haven't went on a date. I don't really know the situation, but if this person left you on red, you do not need to double back text them. If they left you on red, then they left you on red. That was just a conversation that was going on. One thing about men is just like he was putting in the effort to call you in the beginning and double texting you and whatever, men go for what they want. Like I said in the, fallback video, men are natural chasers. They do not like to be chased as much as they like to act like they're the prize. I've ran into men, pretty boys, where they're used to being chased. And I'm like, sweetie, no, I'm sorry. You can go do that with somebody else because your mindset is, your brain development right now is a peanut, okay? Like, you don't even have the comprehension to understand what type of woman that's in front of you right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this way, okay? Period. So if a man wants to pursue you, and I've talked to many men where I accidentally left them on red, or, they didn't really leave me on red, but they didn't respond back and they end up calling me and saying, hey, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Because that's called checking in and letting you know, like, hey, I don't want you to, like, not, if he's okay with not talking to you for a week, then that kind of pretty much says it right there. Yes, I'm bougie. But yes, if you're being ghosted, it's an ego thing because your ego kicks in and go, oh my God, what did I? No, don't take it as, okay, I didn't need to talk to them anymore. And if it was something where it was kind of concerning, I don't know, because I've been ghosted in a way where I didn't even know, like, I was probably ghosted. Actually, I'll say back in college I was ghosted by a guy. Oh, it was so hurtful. This one's probably the most painful ghost because he wanted to be with me in a certain way and I told him no, and he said okay, it was cool, and we friends. I thought we were friends even though I had feelings for him. And next thing you know, he's like ghosting me, but like ghosting me. Like we would run into each other and he would pass me by as if I was a ghost. Like it was so painful. And I made the mistake of confronting him one time at a club. I saw him at a club and I was like, "Why are you ignoring me?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I'm not ignoring you." As he was not looking at me. He was like literally trying to make a point that I am not going to stare you in the face right now. Or if I was with somebody and they said something to him, he would ignore all of us. Like, and then 10 years, about 10 years later, no, actually about 6 years later, he reached out to me and apologized and said that he was hurt, or he was trying to get back at me, or, he was an a-hole, or, he was trying to feed his ego. So that's that. And sometimes people are ghosting you because they're dealing with other people as well. They can be ghosting you for many different reasons, but it doesn't matter why they are ghosting you. It's a matter of how you're responding and how you feel about yourself after they ghost you. Okay, how do you feel when a guy ghosts you and then tell you it was family business? When he comes back and y'all have sex and then he ghosts you and then he says it's his family and have sex with you again. Girl, the first time he wouldn't even look. I'm not even gonna say what I would have done, but because it's already done, if you already had sex with him, don't let him bamboozle you again at this point because it's plain out bullshit. Like it ain't nothing is gonna stop a man because it didn't stop him from reaching out to get the cooter. His family business didn't stop him from wanting the cooter. So why all suddenly when it comes down to you talking, all suddenly it's family stuff again? But family can wait when it come down to that. Like it's time to either establish what do you want from this person. What are they giving you other than something that's between their legs? And it's probably not even all that in the bag of chips anyway. And if it is, it ain't worth all of that because you should be looking at yourself like this is gold, okay? This is golden right here too, sweetheart. And you're gonna be slanging it everywhere, and you're only slanging it as if you're basically, I'm not gonna be used. So don't let him use you. Let's see. Okay. But don't let that man tell you, "Oh, my mama calling me back," and then don't call you back for the rest of the night. Boys, I have a son myself, okay? I've been around men, and when they want a woman, they'll be like, "Oh, hold on right quick. My mom's calling me." And they'll click back over and entertain you, unless it's a family emergency. And then that family emergency can't keep happening. Yes, don't ever sleep with a guy who's ever ghosted you. If he ghosted you, he's coming back to get the punani, okay? And that's all he's using you for. And he's going to continue to use you until you're used up. And he doesn't care about your mental health with that. He's only caring about himself because he's getting what he needs, and he's getting what's convenient for him. And you're over here thinking about this person and giving your soul away to this person because every time you lay down with somebody, you are soul swapping with that person. And then you grow these attachments as well. You got to be careful who you lay with. That's the thing. I don't know if it was ghosting or something happened. Girl, I'm telling you now, Philly Girl 1, ain't nothing happened. Nothing. If he can reach out to you and and want something from you and entertain you, and this doesn't have to mean he knows he gotta put in some work. He knows he gotta hit you up, text you for a few days. How you been? I miss you. I'm so sorry. I've been so stressed out, but I would love to see you again. If he hits you with that, boo boo, he's working. He's putting in that work. He's putting in that work, and he knows you're accessible. How do you handle multiple men who keeps coming into your life with negative energy? Don't allow them to come back in. Do not allow, girl. I have multiple men that come in, and I realize I have to sit back and I say, who am I allowing to have access to me? Ladies, you cannot be so accessible. I hope that's the word for it. You cannot allow just anybody to have so much access to you. Just because that person hits you up and y'all used to have a thing back in the day, that does not mean you have to respond back to them. That does not mean that you have to entertain them. Especially if that person puts you through some stuff, you'd be like, devil, no, get away from me. You're negative. You're bad vibes. I don't remember anything good about you. Oh, no, I remember what you did to me. Oh, I understand you're sorry, but you're not accessible. Sorry. Door closed. You messed up. Get their positive friend. Exactly. Get the positive friend, okay? If he's negative, you find somebody that's positive, as in energy, not anything else. But yeah, find somebody that is a positive person. Thank you, Pre-Angela. Is it Pre-Angela? Yeah, this is the natural look. I'm about to put some twist in my hair, so yes, if you need to block him, block him. I don't block. I just be like, you can watch. I don't block. You can watch. Somebody put that in the comments. Thank you. This guy I was talking to for 3 years ghosted me. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Trust me, I've been ghosted. I was ghosted probably I was stood up actually because some men are narcissistic, and sometimes they feed off of the thought of them having you wonder about them, or they feed off the thought that I bet she's thinking about me, I bet she's hitting me up. I had a guy that was tried to pull that one on me, and I was like, dude, step, I'm good. Okay, yeah, it sucks that I was able to allow that you'd even have that opportunity to do that, but I wasn't bothered. I hit him up, and you know um and come to find out, he was back with his ex. And it's a reason why they ghosted you. It could be because of an ex, it can be because they want to go off and they want to talk to somebody else, they found somebody else to do things with. And literally, y'all have to understand that has nothing to do with you, or that you're not adequate enough. It's just, like I said, men love to chase. And I understand you didn't get the closure. That is some a-hole stuff right there. To talk to somebody for 3 years and then ghost them. That is something that you definitely have to heal from. That's nothing that's easy, because you're left with a whole bunch of like questions of why would you do that. But I'm telling you now, even if you were to get the answers that you've been looking for, they're not going to give you that closure that you've been looking for, because anything that he would have to say to you has absolutely no excuse as to why he ghosted you after 3 years of a relationship. But then you got to look back. Is this 3 year relationship, was it even really a relationship? Was it even truly something that was sincere? Was he this just grand, great person? Did we have problems? What were his flaws? You also have to look at the relationship itself and say, was it even good? Should I have even been in that relationship? So you also have to look into what that is, because I promise you, you're not going to be in a happy, loving relationship with somebody and they're just going to ghost you for 3 years. I mean, after 3 years of dealing with them, because you can deal with somebody for 3 years and not even be in like a real relationship with them. You'll be just going through drama, fighting, sex, drama, fighting, sex, ghosting, sex, come back, talk, great time, date, sex, ghost again. You see him online doing what he wants to do, but you call it a relationship. And do not waste, after a few months, if this man has not made you his girlfriend, or has not expressed to you what his intentions are with you, and that is something that you are looking for. Now, this doesn't go for every woman, because some women say they don't want relationships, but in the end, we want to be with somebody that is exclusive, because women, naturally, we are very territorial as well, and we are very competitive by nature as well. That's why women will ditch their friends over a man, okay? because y'all feel like y'all got a limited dating pool. Instead of sticking together as women, you want to ditch the friend because you're so desperate for this man because you feel like you can't get another little thing like that anymore. So you rather lose a friendship of years down the drain over something that ain't about worth a penny. I don't know why we have this mindset, but we were kind of raised to, dress this way for a man and do this for a man. Make sure you cook for a man. How about you know how to cook for yourself? How about you work out for yourself? Just like Drake said, do work out for yourself because men never notice. Okay? You could be with a man and be like, oh my God, I lost 10 pounds. And they be like, oh, really? Don't give you the acknowledgement. Thank you, Patricia. Oh, thank you so much. How do you feel about women ghosting toxic men, consistently problematic men? I think that the most mature way to deal with somebody who is problematic, just because you don't want karma coming back on you, is to be very vocal and say, you know what? I tell them what your problem is. Like, say if this person like toxic, like say if this man okay. So for example, I had to cut off a dude before because I felt like he was toxic for me. I asked him, um, where are we going with this? And like, what are your intentions? Like, where do you see yourself from a year from now? And he's like, oh, I don't want to get married again. And, I don't want to, be in a relationship. I'm just going with the flow. And I was like, well, I'm not really going with the flow. But then I kind of still stayed, and that was my fault. I stuck around, but I also had it in my head that, this is not going to be for me. And even God was like, this ain't going to be for you. And then he wasn't really taking me out the way I wanted him to take me out. I don't know if it was a money thing, but he wasn't transparent about it. He was, in a bad mood. But when I would have a bad day, it was like, I don't want to really hear about your bad day, And he was very toxic. So what I did, I said, it was like he was talking about some stuff that was just like, okay, look, this is not gonna work between us. Tell them straight up, this is not going to work between us. I see us more as being friends, and this is the reasons why. And I would just be very mature about it and say, yeah, like, this is not really working for me. Like, I just don't think that we match very well. And men, one thing about them, they're not used to women dumping them like that. So guess what they do? They get all mad and get all angry and try to do some spiteful stuff to like hurt your feelings, or they may post something on like social media and knowing that you're gonna see it. Like, you have to understand that when you break it off with them, you need to understand you're about to break it off with them. Like, it doesn't need to be no, okay, hopefully he says this. No, when you give a man an ultimatum, you need to stick to it, because men do not take well to ultimatums. Okay, let's see. Do you think men who ghost like do they think about the person they ghosted, or do they move on? No, they think about the person that they ghosted, because um they think about them, but they're depending on what that situation is and why they ghosted you. Could have been he got somebody pregnant, he got to deal with that, or he's trust me, I've been ghosted. And every guy that has ghosted me, and the longest time a guy went with like ghosting me was about a good 6 years, and he tried to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and then he tried to reach out to me on Snapchat, and then he tried to reach out to me on Instagram, and then once he saw I wasn't really paying him no mind, he blocked me again. And then a few years later, he tried to hit me up again, and he was just like, basically like, I really like, I know, like, you're a good woman, like, you're a good woman. And basically he was chasing after some girls, and that relationship didn't work out. So guess who he thought was going to be an option? Me. No, 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 sir, you don't get that option again. I'm sorry. Like, people need to understand that that is not even impossible to just forget about somebody like that, especially if you had intimate conversations, especially if you guys laughed together, had fun together, had intimate time together. Those thoughts, think about it. Have you ever, like, forgot about somebody that you were intimate with and had deep conversations with, and was really, had like they made you feel good and you made them feel good being around them. Those memories don't go away just because the person, those memories don't go away. Okay, let's see. Um But men do move on, even if they're not moved on, if that makes sense. Like they can be heartbroken about something, but still continue to entertain other women. Because one thing about men, and a man told me this themselves, is that men are not taught to be alone. So it's part of they feel like it's part of their manhood to talk to other women. So when one thing doesn't work out with one woman, they tend to want to start something with somebody else, even if they don't really like them like that, or they're using them as a rebound. Men are like known for rebounding. Let me move it. Men are known to rebound. So what you need to do to protect yourself is ask him, did you just get out of a relationship? How long have you been single? When you were talking to somebody? Because once you find out that he was just dealing with somebody, understand no matter what he say, he is rebounding. Oops. Let's see. Thank you, Lynn. Should I continue talking to a guy who has gotten lazy and trying to keep me eat? Watch my fallback video. If you feel like you pulled out all those tricks and he's still like not really like paying it any mind, it's time to dip. Definitely, for sure. Like pull back, and if he continues to let you pull back and he pull back too, he let you pull back, deuces, gotta go. Because if you ain't appreciating my presence, you gonna appreciate my absence. Pooh, pooh, period. Okay, hi B Taylor, I'm a new subby your channel. I learned that men don't give closure. Men are narcissists by default. We as women have more than high heels, but standards too to enforce them. It is our responsibility to enforce self-respect. It is our responsibility to demand how to be treated. That is not up to the man. That is how. You ever see, like, okay, for one, like Issa, for example, you know how, I don't know if you guys watch Insecure, but Issa, for example, was like, I built this man up and she's getting the better version of him. Well, yeah, he's pulling out the tricks and the dips because that is the type of woman of high standard, and she carries herself in high standard. So guess what? How he gonna treat her? He's gonna treat her very high standard. He's gonna pull out things that he never done for Issa, because guess what? Issa just settled for whatever he was. And she dealt with it. And women, stop saying you're building a man for another woman. That's not what that is. You don't hear a lot of men saying they're building a woman for another man. You learn from different relationships, and that relationship both teach you things, how to maneuver in the next relationship. But that is not you building him into build a man for another woman. I'm not putting in all this work into a man. That's why you shouldn't be putting all this work into a man and forcing him to be something that he wasn't, and you're settling and you're trying to make him the man that you want him to be, and then you expect him to turn around and look at you as the prize. He's gonna look at himself as the prize and go after the woman that would never give him a day and a time of who he was a few years ago. But then now he's a fixer, and now he's fixed up. He's going to go after the woman that would never have looked his way, but now she's going to look his way because now he's in her standard. That is exactly what tends to happen all the time. You are not a Build-A-Bear, okay? He was hovering you the whole time, watching you glow up. Yeah, he was. And he said that. He's like, I've been watching you. And men watch silently. They don't always, reach out. Sometimes they just watch you silently. Who knows? I probably got a few of them watching this video now. I'm thinking men be testing desperation levels to see how much they can use you. Men test your desperation levels, and they also test your temperature. They'll see what they can get away with and what you'll deal with. Like, for example, some men will test you and see, oh, if I don't contact her today, how long she'll go without talking to me. Let me see how much she like me. Let me see how much she's sweating me. Or, let me test her and see, like, man, I need some money for something. Let me see if she'll buy it. Let me see if she'll pay for me to do this. And this is like in the beginning phase. I'm not talking about somebody that's in a relationship and like y'all are helping each other out during a hard time or something like that, or he's gonna pay you back. Like guys will test your temperature, and they'll also test to see how far they'll go with you. And they'll also, like, I had a guy that told me like, ooh, yeah, like, we was flirting and texting, and he made a joke. Even though he made a joke, it's not funny. And I didn't take it as being funny. He was like, yeah, you should make an OnlyFans account. And I'm like, oh, do it look like I would make an OnlyFans account? I said, how about you make an OnlyFans account? He's like, oh, I wouldn't do. Well, I don't know what where your mind is, but that's not who I am. And I'm letting that be known now. Don't treat me like that. Don't think that I'm like that, and come correct. Because if you don't set the standards for yourself, they will treat you however you're allowing them to treat you. I just found out I was pregnant. He left me again day after. Says he's in love with other girl, but wants to have a good relationship with me. He loves and cares about me and wants to co-parent. Oh, Jesus. So this brings me back to my situation where, I knew that, you know, somebody else was probably trying to be in the picture and I wasn't being treated correctly when I was pregnant. And this is literally a fear of mine, to be pregnant again and be vulnerable. I would not be pregnant again until I'm married, because and even then it's kind of like me and my husband are going to have to talk about these things, because when you're pregnant, you are very vulnerable. Your hormones are out of whack. You can't just preoccupy your time, go out with your friends and just like do all these things or take a trip. You can, but you're not going to be really up to doing those things, because you're going to be concentrating on growing a baby. You feel vulnerable. You already feel kind of a little unattractive. I don't know. I felt that way. A lot of women say they feel attractive being pregnant, but most of those women that end up saying that end up having like a very supportive husband. So I don't know, but I felt like, man, like he's talking to you, start comparing yourself to the other girl, and then you're gaining weight and the other girl is not. And then he sounds like he's confused. For one, he sounds like he wants some freedom and he wants some fun. One thing I've learned about my past relationship is like, well, why would you do that when I was pregnant? It was like I just needed some freedom. I needed somebody that was gonna take my mind off of being a dad, being about to be a dad. Because men, they get scared. They're scared, but they don't understand how scared you are carrying that child. They'll never understand how it feels to carry a child. They can have some type of compassion and try to understand, some type of empathy for you and your situation. But for him he doesn't know anything of what you're going through. That's why he's only thinking about himself and his pleasure. And he's stringing you along, because one man, when they know you have their baby, I was just told this from a guy, that a lot of men, when they get you pregnant and you have their baby, they feel like that door will always be open. So that's why they end up treating you like trash, because they feel like it doesn't matter. I can do what I want to do, because while she's pregnant or while she have our kid, that door is always going to be open, because men look at women like, well, of course she's going to want to be with me because we got a kid together. They always think that door is open, so they're going to be exploring other doors and dealing with other things, because they feel like I can always come back if this doesn't work out. But when you're like, walk away, that's when you get a lot of bitter baby daddies. Not every situation, but you get a lot of them. But yeah, so hang in there. And man, I'm so sorry you're having to go through that. And I know the emotions behind it. It's like very disheartening. You know, who is the chick that he is getting ready to be with him while you pray? Exactly. Women, stop being with these. I know none of y'all would do this, but these women out here are it's some very dysfunctional, crazy, and this is where you call desperation. Some women are so desperate to be loved that they're so dysfunctional that they are willing to be with a man who has a kid on the way. What? I don't understand that. I feel like I would never be with a man that got a kid on the way. I don't give a damn if it was an accident. I don't care if it was unintentional. I don't care if it was a one night hookup. Your mind needs to be somewhere else. And men be like, oh, why he can't enjoy himself? Is she enjoying herself? Why do you get to have that freedom? No, you need to take some responsibility and figure out how you're going to be a dad and how you need to save up money for this child and what type of co-parent relationship you're going to have with this person and how you're going to, you need to be going on you need to be going on doctor appointments. You need to be checking in and see how your child is doing because that woman is carrying your seed. You need to be at doctor's appointments. You need to be over there building a bed, a crib. You need to be getting your place together. You need to be, seeing how much money you save. You do not need to be having money spending on another broad. And for the women that are like, oh, well, he's spending money on me. Does that make you feel good that he's spending money on you when he should be saving up his money for the child? Yeah, yeah. Put him on. And I don't say this out of spite, but men get so mad when they're put on child support, and it's just like you're mad because you're not able to free ball with all the women that you want to impress because you're not really worried about feeding your child. Or really, because you're already not in the home and you got all this freedom and you get to live in your one bedroom bachelor apartment while mom has to pay for extra water and lights and everything. I'm not saying this is from my situation. I'm just saying, like, from what I've seen. And like, women, you're not only taking care of the child physically, and that's a job within itself. And what, he see them every other weekend? But you have the child most of the time. Yeah, he should be contributing as much as he can, but a lot of men want that extra money to be drinking, partying, having fun, impressing other women. And it's like, no, you can do all of that. Just make sure your responsibility is taken care of. Okay? Oh, how high should the standards be during the talking stage? You should write down what you want. You should write down what your standards are. Like, I expect these things. And I'm not talking about standards like, oh, he got to be 6'5", and he got to light eyes. Like, no, that's not standards, baby. That's materialistic things. I am talking about standards as in I need somebody who's consistent. Like me, for example, like in the beginning, like in the beginning and talking stage and all, you need to be consistent. You need to be transparent and you need to be honest. And if I see any of those things not lining up, I will ditch you, okay? I will be gone. I will be done with you. So consistency is one thing. Communication is another thing. Honesty is a big thing as well. I expect to be taken out. I don't expect to just be your texting buddy all the time. I don't want you texting me all the time. I want to actually physically see you or make an effort to do things. That's also, sir, I'm gonna need you to put in some effort, okay? What else? Some standards for me is how he treats me. Is he a family man? How does he interact with his family? His relationship with his mom? What type of job does he have? Is he happy? Because a lot of men, you end up dating them, and they're like the one thing you meet them, and they're always complaining about their job, and they're always in a bad mood about their job. You may need to run because then what's going to happen is he may end up always taking it out on you. I'm not saying everybody has to be happy with their job because some days I'm like, oh my God, it's such a long day. Or it's been such a long week, or it's been a long month. People have those moments, but when they're constantly letting, I say like drive by and dump their garbage on you or something like that, that's also something I look into. And also not how much money they spend on me, but if they're investing in me. That is so important. If you are not investing in me, that's also having standards. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go 50-50, or we don't have to. We could just chill at the house, or we don't have to, we don't have to spend a lot of money on me. Is he investing in you? Just like he spent his money on other things and he invests in his car, you are an investment. Because if you are looking for a life partner, you should be, just as much as you're investing your time into this person, enough to trust them to where you could invest in them even more. He's the one who pursued you, not you, not vice versa. That's why I don't shoot my shot with dudes, because I'm like, nah, I want to be chased. Because how I'm gonna ask you to pursue me when I'm the one who reached out to you? Like, that's why I personally just, I'm sorry, I'm not shooting my shot at people. I mean, it was like, I used to be bold, but how you shoot your shot subliminally as a woman is that if you're somewhere and he's looking at you and y'all catch each other eye, you don't look away and go, he, you look and you smile. Sorry, my lips are ashy, so I can't smile like that. But let's try that again. You look and you go, oh, hi, hey, or something like that, something cute. That's you shooting your shot. That's you opening the door and invitation and inviting him in to come and talk to you. Set your standards like that, boo. Ooh, thanks. Ashley, I'm sending love and light your way, baby. You got this. Kissed by hypergamy for me. These women don't realize that will come back on not just him, but her too. It's only trifling to be a side chick, but savage to rob a child. Yeah, exactly. So the girl that he's dating, I don't envy her at all, because her karma is coming to her, and it's not going to be nice, because she knows if she wouldn't want to be treated like that, why would she entertain a guy that's treating another woman like that? Because a lot of women like to, give into the whole, oh, she was crazy. If a guy tell you, oh, she was crazy, that's why I did it, because she was crazy, don't fall for that. Out of times that a guy called you crazy and you were like, dang, like, why you calling me crazy? It's because he did da 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 da. Understand that woman's probably going through that same thing as well. Now, some women are probably crazy, but that man had some respect. He attracted that crazy for a reason. Robbing from a child, exactly. Yes. Oh, I definitely believe in hypergamy, and I've been watching those type of channels. Like, I watch Chrissy and all of them, and they are so, like, on it. They are so on it. I mean, they're like, oh, okay, like, this is a dusty. You pay them dust, okay? Level up, and don't be desperate. Walk in with that energy that you are that woman. I walked around with my hair like this today and caught many eyes. I was like, I'm a black goddess queen walking up in here. And I was walking in Target. I was like, yes, the queen has entered Target. But I don't walk around like I'm better than people. I walk around spreading positive energy, because one thing that is so attractive to men is a woman who has positive energy. How do you have positive energy? By working on yourself. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's miserable all the time. And men, they look for women who could take their mind off of other things. Sometimes it's sex. Most of the time it's sex. But that don't mean you're giving in to that. Because when a man sees you, he's attracted to you at first. Of course he's thinking about sex, But that don't mean you gotta do it. Save yourself. Like, have some standards. Set some standards. Like, no, like, I need to know where this is going, or this is my intention with this guy, or he's just for fun. Make sure you know that. But even if he is for fun, still set boundaries for yourself and set standards for yourself. Like, if he's just for fun, he can't be doing this and this and this and that. If he don't want to do all of that, pay your dust. Okay? Oh my gosh, I've been here for over an hour. That's crazy. I'm about to be watching Insecure, y'all. So I'm about to get off of here soon, but I just wanted to come on here live because I need to go live more. I like this interaction with all of us, and we could talk. I do have a video coming up of how to do a natural makeup look, and I'm gonna post that sometime on maybe like Tuesday or so, or maybe tomorrow, but I'm gonna post it this week, and I'm gonna try to do another live again or just another video. But I promise you guys, I thank you for all the new subscribers and everything. You guys have been a blessing. The fact that I'm over 10,000 subscribers is just mind blowing. Didn't think my platform. I just honestly just wanted to help women, and God told me to tell my stories, and I was like, no, God, I'm supposed to look like I got it together, and God was like, no, you don't supposed to look like you got it together. You look like you got it together. That's why you're gonna help others and let them know that it's okay that you fall flat. You're just gonna get yourself back up and be a testimony, that you're a walking testimony. I was somebody who was waiting tables with a baby, single, just found out that, the person was not who they say they were, and I couldn't find a job for nothing, and then boom, I was blessed, to get back into the field of work. I've been promoted at my job, like my income is increasing, my home increased. Like, God is such a blessing, and I just feel so blessed. And sometimes I get distracted, sometimes I get straight away, and I'll be the first to tell you guys I'm not perfect and I still have things that I need to work on. But I promise you, I never get on here, saying negative things without a solution. Like, I fight to get through these things, and when I get through them, I share them with you guys. And I hope that this can help somebody and just understand we're all on this journey together. And as some of you guys said, I feel like I'm like a friend to you guys. You're all like friends to me. And we're virtual friends, and this is a community. This is a safe community of women who are, and even men. I've had men on here, and we empower each other, and we're gonna get through this, okay? Like, it's a tough world out here, and we have big hearts, and we're going to learn how to maneuver through this world with our big hearts and not be taken advantage of, and sweep ourselves off the floor and become better human beings, and as in working on our inner self, because working on your inner self takes years. People don't even get to this point until they're like 40 years old. So if you're on this video, you're doing a great job. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna tax technicians. Thank you so much. Thank you all you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm gonna go live some more. Message me, send me some ideas that you want me to talk about specifically, and I can make a video about them as well. Thank you, Kiss by Hypergamy. For me, I value a lot of you guys, and I value your thoughts and opinions, and I hear you out. And, I try to like and comment as much as I can. So if I don't end up commenting back on you guys, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I probably just didn't see it. And if you reach out to me, I try to get back to you guys within a few days as well. And also just comment some options below. Anytime you comment and say, can you do a video on this, I write it down in my little notes, and I plan to make videos on that. So just do that as well. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all, and have a good night. Get some rest, get some beauty rest, and thank you guys. Bye.